So, Dutch, did you hear the new Forky toys from the Toy Story 4 movie, The Plushes, have been recalled?
What?
I guess all those kids are going to put them in the trash. Welcome to a show about shows.
Yes. I'm so excited. Today is number 19. We went for greatness, and this is what we got.
Is it great or greatness?
I went with greatness on this one.
All right, because that's not what the rundown says. I quit.
I know. First time we ever actually read the rundown.
Can you hand me my rundown? I just viciously threw it. Which I did a visual gag for an audio podcast.
Well, that's usually what we do anyway.
My bad. I forgot we weren't on film this week.
No.
We're not on film, obviously, from the Dizzle Studios.
Yes, we'll call it the Aviator Dizzle Studios.
Because we're here in the Pierce Productions offices. Of course, JPO here is always Jordan Pierce Owens, joined by my main man,
Dutch McAllister.
Dizzle is not here, which means he won't talk rom-coms like Midsummer. I'm sure he saw Midsummer already.
I'm sure he did. And I got to tell you, I was shocked to find out that a lot of people don't agree with us that it is a romantic comedy. So I was shocked to find that out. In this deal, you've been doing a couple things, though. I have to bring this up. You've been doing a few things extracurricular. I believe you've been doing a few shows on the side, live performances, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Or am I wrong? Am I off? Am I on target?
If you stop rambling, I'll let you know. Am I right? Wrong, right, wrong. Yeah, just last night at Off the Hill Comedy Club here in Naples, Florida. Thank you to everyone who came out for that show. They did the Florida's Funniest competition. I think you went to last year's Florida's Funniest.
Yes, I did.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you should have told me about that one. I didn't know about what it was for. I was tired. It was either that or watch The Last Black Man in San Francisco, but I petered out on both ideas.
Yeah, that was always fun. I was late to respond to text, so I literally 4 texts from you. Hey man, want to go see a movie? Never mind, I'm tired. Like I didn't even get a chance to put in my input.
No.
You already answered your own want to hang out question before I could even get there.
But the show do well?
Yeah.
You won the title? Did you win the title? Did you win the title?
No, I did not. I am not Florida's funniest comedian.
Wow.
I was happy with the set, but there really was. At first, I thought I had a chance. I'll be honest with you. The first 5 went, and I'm like, I might have this. And then the next 15 went, I went, probably not. Because, no, there's some good acts there, man. Good seeing my good friend David Flick there. I know my good friend Sheena Regan was one of the finalists, and unfortunately, don't hate me because I just met him. The other 2 finalists, we're all both really funny.
Bill and Dave. We'll call them Bill and Dave tonight.
I've argued some of the finalists in the past. I can't argue the finalists from last night though. Well deserved. All funny people. Good club too if you want to check that out. Of course, Real Pro Wrestling also always running 4th year anniversary, August the 6th. At the Riverside Community Center.
Good to hear. We got a lot of things going today. We got a lot of news we're going to talk about. We got a few movies that it seems that I was doing the heavy lifting, which I don't like to do all often.
I know.
Because you do the heavy lifting most of the time.
You got 4 and I've got 1 with you.
So we'll go over, Spider-Man. We're going to go over Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're going off an indie called Giant Little Ones. And then we're going to revisit The Man Who Killed Hitler and then The Bigfoot. Which, we had a review on earlier as well. And then again, like I said, we just have a slew of good and bad news out there in Hollywood. And, and we'll just discuss whatever we feel like as well, But I gotta say, 19 is coming close to 20, and 20 is going to be a great show. So I can't wait for that to happen. So the first movie we'll talk is Spider-Man From Home. You and I both had a chance to see this. Spider-Man must step up and take on the new threats in the world. That has been changed from the Endgame movie. But he wants to have a vacation and profess his love to MJ. But it just doesn't go as well as pictured. It stars Tom Holland, Zendaya. I apologize. Jacob Batalon.
I think that.
Yeah. Jon Favreau, Marissa Tomei, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh.
Hey, I usually call him Gyllenhaal. And Samuel L. Jackson with Kobe Smulders. Go ahead and start this off with us.
That's a weird way to put the cast. And then with. Anywho.
Well, she's always tied with Samuel L. Jackson.
Usually you say with then and. Just saying.
Yes.
And I don't know why Jake Gyllenhaal was so late in that list.
Well, because I had to get rid of the main cast.
Plus, you said I could have done that review, but that's fine. You just stole my thunder. A little behind the scenes here. I had a lot of fun with this, man. I've always thought Mysterio, which is a Jake Gyllenhaal character, would make great for cinematic viewing, and I think he really did. He kills it in both ways. I don't want to give any spoilers here, but he gets show some acting chops here in two different varying levels of the character, and it's a lot of fun here. If you were missing Sam Jackson from Endgame, because he's not in that very much, you get some good Sam Jackson in this. And yeah, I love Tom Holland, man. I'm glad that we finally have a real live teenage, at least he looks like a teenage Spider-Man. And yeah, I had a lot of fun here. As some people have said, I think it starts off pretty funny and some great stuff towards the end. A little bit in the middle, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word drag like some people have said, but like I do kind of get what they're saying, where just some of the field trip stuff and it's okay, but
I didn't see any drag. I think it moved its point to the point, from A to B to C. It did well. It moved the story along, and it wasn't like it didn't stay there forever in those little doldrums that people have an issue with. But it just helped the story move a little further down the pike. The fight scenes. The first time we ever actually get to see a fight scene between Spider-Man and Mysterio.
Spoiler.
There's no spoiler in this one because, well, okay, I guess there could be, but I apologize. I'm bad with where they're at. And if you haven't read the comics, I apologize. But it made me feel as if I was watching a comic book come to life. I mean, literally, the scenes that they were in, it's almost like watching Doctor Strange. Do you remember Doctor Strange?
Yeah, true. Like, they were very good about doing a new, unique vision.
Yeah.
And so was this because of Mysterio's powers. I was saying like a cartoon come to life because even a comic book can't give you these exact movements.
Yes, yeah. And I thought the cast was superb as always. I liked how they explained away a little bit of just to get you back into the story. How they explained away what happened after
just
Endgame.
To show you the big of the cast too. Also, I enjoyed all the classmates. Tony River Laurie back as Flash, and the teachers too as well has some fun moments. Martin Starr and JB Smoove.
Correct, and I think Jacob, who is Ned, does a great job as always as Ned. He finds love, and it's a great little story.
Funny chemistry between him and. Is it Gwen? No, it's not Gwen.
No, it's not Gwen, but I can't remember her name anyway.
Brenda,
I think. It might have been Brenda. One of those names. But, at the end of the day, though, it's between, the romance is between Peter Parker and MJ. And I think those two have great chemistry on screen.
That's maybe a small qualm of mine, is that we are kind of missing a little bit of chunk of that relationship, because the last one, he's into Vulture's daughter.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of, not even really into that MJ, really. So I just kind of feel like we missed a little bit, because all of a sudden the second one he's like, I like her a lot, I want to give her a pendant.
Well, do you not remember, though, at the end of Homecoming, I believe, it was after she got arrested and whatever, he was kind of...
It's jumped a little bit, though. Can't you say? Like, it went from, like, a little bit of, like, maybe I'm kind of into her, to, she's awesome.
Well, I look at it this way, priorities have been set straight since The Vanishing. You know what I'm saying? So...
Which here it's called the blip.
Yeah, so the blip is what, that I think that's what made everyone want to go after whatever they wanted to. So I'm thinking that's how that works.
Well, yes and no. But yeah, it's good movie telling, really. I think at the end of the day it's a nitpick, but just because, what else are you going to do? You don't want to waste time. Get the ground running. He loves MJ.
Yeah, and so I just thought, the chemistry between them and the chemistry between the whole cast didn't miss a beat from Homecoming. It kept the same charm and the feel.
Charming is a great word. Very charming movie.
And it just captures me, and I'm glad. We'll talk more about it. We got to talk about that in the news as well, about how the MCU will continue with possibly with Spider-Man. So, but yeah, I personally, though, I'm going to just give it 4.5. The reason why I'm not giving it a 5 is, I didn't like one of the endings. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like one of the ways they took it, but I'm open to more. But 4.5 is my snowflake total.
I'm actually not mad at you. This is not a lie. I'm gonna go with 4.5 as well. I just thought this thing was great. Maybe that last half of a star. I don't necessarily disagree with you too hard, but I'm in the middle because I want to see where it goes as far as the after credit scenes. As you just said, definitely stay after the credits. At least midway. The midway one is definitely a game changer that you gotta see.
Yeah.
The last bit, I guess you do want to see because it does add a little bit of context to the film.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit more of a clunker of a way to end it, kind of, because I think maybe we were just wanting more. But
but I was still okay with it. So it's like I said, I just didn't like.
And let's not forget the breakout is the new superhero Night Monkey.
Yes, the Night Monkey. We all love the Night Monkey. The Germans, the Europeans, they all love the Night Monkey now. And
I'm interested in your next review here. You're going to talk about Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, that's right, folks. It's not a fan-made film. Batman, Batgirl, and Robin force an alliance with TMNTs to fight against the Turtles' sworn enemy, the Shredder, who has teamed up with Ra's al Ghul's League of Assassins. Tell me about this. I was on the fence, but I think you said you liked it.
I loved it. I really did. I thought it was just a great way to blend two universes together. I think Michelangelo said it right, was, he loved Gotham because it was so different, even though it seems like they're in the same city. You know what I'm saying? Even though they are in the same, they're both New York City. Gotham is what that is, and I find the guy who did Michelangelo. I can't remember his name offhand, but this cast has a lot
about
of
that. Yeah, I'll tell you about the cast here in a minute.
Yeah. But there's a scene where Michelangelo is just talking about what's different about Gotham, and he goes, "What about the blimps? There's a lot of blimps. What are the blimps for? This is why it's so cool, And then and then of course when they meet the Penguin, trying to do a caper, he's just again Mikey's doing his one-liners. You can't believe this is so awesome that there's a guy who has a umbrella that turns into a machine gun, and then it turns into a helicopter, and he can't figure out. This is great. But yeah, at the end of the day, though, the story runs well. You got a lot of Leonardo, taking a lot of tips from Batman of how to be a better leader. You get Damian Wayne as well coming in. Ra's al Ghul's character is really a minor feat in this film, which I was kind of shocked, really, because they use the Shredder a little bit more. But yeah, I found this to be a very clever, imaginative film in which I enjoyed immensely. And it's not a 5; it's a 4.5. I know I still kind of I'm stuck there, but 4.5 is just a great. It was a great film to watch, and it's great for the family, and anybody who's a big fan of both genres, watch it because it's worth it. If you want to talk about the cast, let's talk about them because there's just unbelievable.
Yeah, for your voice cast, you got Troy Baker who does Batman and the Joker.
Yeah,
by the way,
the Joker scene in this film is I'm not going to give it away, but it is a great. Between him and Harley in the Bat and of course the Turtles, they all fight. But I just love the way the Joker is done in this one.
Eric Baza, Darren Criss, Baron Vaughn, Carlos Elizraki, and you got Rachel Bloom who's Batgirl, Tom Kenny who's SpongeBob voiced the Penguin, and then one I thought was very interesting, Kyle Mooney from Saturday Night Live fame is your Michelangelo.
Yeah,
so that makes me even more excited because I like Kyle Mooney a lot.
Yeah, and you won't go wrong if you just pick it up to watch it. If you see it for something light, like for sale. Say something, if it's like $10, get it. I mean, literally. I kind of regret I didn't buy it when it was cheap. But again, I wanted to see what it was like before I bought it. I think now it's like $20. Somewhere is where you go.
Yikes, yeah, I was about to say if it was 10 I was going to buy it, but it's 20.
No, I think, here's
never mind.
You want to hear the worst part? It was $7.99 about like 2 weeks ago before I even watched it, but I rented it, and that was how I watched it. So it was well worth the watch, well worth the $5 that you're going to spend, and it might be on Prime later on, or you can find it somewhere like Prime Day, when they do sales on movies. But have you thought about watching this? I mean, this movie at all, or how were you a fan of the? I see you're right now. If we were on camera, you could show the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt that you own that you're wearing. So I'm surprised you haven't seen this yet.
Not on purpose. Yeah, you're right. It's a mix of Deadpool, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, I grew up as a fan. Like I said, I've kind of retroactively I've said this to you, and you kind of disagree with me a little bit that the show from the '90s is a little too kiddish and cartoony for me now. You know? But no, they're still fun to be had with these characters. I didn't hate the last 2 live actions. I thought there was some merit to them and made them watchable. So, like I said, I was on the fence with this, but you give it a pretty good review. It's got like a 7.5 on IMDb. So yeah, it is something that because of reviews, I'm more inclined to see now, and I will check it out at some point.
Yeah. The next film I'm going to go over is called Giant Little Ones. It's 2 popular teen boys, best friends since childhood, discover their lives and families and girlfriends dramatically upended after an unexpected incident occurs on the night of a 17th birthday party. This movie stars Josh Wiggins, who I think will be a star if given a chance. Darren Mann, Taylor Hickson is also in it. Maria Bello and Kyle MacLachlan is also starring. Those 2 play Josh Wiggins' parents in the film. I gotta tell you, this film got me. It was. I just happened to be going through it, and I read some reviews, and they were pretty decent reviews. I said, okay, let me give it a shot. And what this is, it turns out to be about sexual fluidity, and how you don't need to label what you are when you're younger. And it's a great story. It's the incident that occurs technically. I don't know if this is a spoiler. You can tell me if it's a spoiler for it, but it's only a blip in the film, in which one of the boys, after a night of on the 17th birthday, the character played by Darren Mann, his character goes down on Josh Wiggins at night, and basically he freaks out and tells everybody that Josh is the one who went down on him, and everyone will basically say, they label him as a queer, basically. And so it's the trials and tribulations of trying to wear that off. He also falls in love with his ex-best friend's sister, but he doesn't want to label any of it, And I think it's what this generation is actually facing nowadays. They don't know what they want to face themselves as, and I think it's a little liberating. It's a great performance. Like I said, Josh Wiggins puts in a great performance as this kid. And Maria Bello plays the mom, who's basically Kyle MacLachlan is her father, is her ex-husband, who's come out. Basically, he's gay, and so she's always kind of upset that how dare this happen to me and my relationship when we were so happy. And it turned out the father was happy with her, but he was also happy with who he fell for. And again, his son, played by Josh Wiggins, is kind of torn about that relationship between why his dad left to be with this man when he was supposedly happy at home, and so it's kind of convoluted. Where it comes up short, I think, is that some of the characters you can't really care about that much. Even the bad guy, Darren Mann, isn't really a bad guy. He's just kind of lost in his own world. He's in a lost world of denial, but they don't really develop enough of the character for him. All in all, though, I give it a solid 3.5 to watch. It's something to watch. And like I said, I think it's Josh Wiggins. I think you could watch him on your radar in the future. I think given the chance, he could be something. In future roles.
All right, well, there you go for Giant Little Ones. You can currently check that out on video on demand near you. Next up, we got The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then The Bigfoot, revisited, this time for Dutch. A legendary American war vet is recruited to hunt a mythical creature. This one stars Sam Elliott, Eddie and Turner, Larry Miller, and Ron Livingston. Yeah,
I had to put Larry Miller in this because he plays Sam Elliott's brother. He plays Sam Elliott's little brother.
Probably play Bigfoot.
And, if you play Bigfoot, that would
really
be
snarky.
And by the way, the practical effects in this film, for Bigfoot, really not that big. He's kind of like a medium-sized Bigfoot, but,
Big-ish foot?
Yeah, he's a big-ish foot, he's not much. But, the story is pretty well. It's almost like a love story. Between Sam Elliott and I can't remember the girl's name, but anyway, but it's and then it's about his life as he doesn't want to live with he can't live with himself for killing somebody, even if it was Hitler, the worst man of the world. He was not prepared to kill somebody for no matter what. You're never going to get over that, and that's what kind of feels in his heart after all these years. Yes, the man deserved it, he says, but at the same time, he just doesn't feel enough. That he should be the one who have taken the man's life. It's a great performance, I think, by Sam Elliott. Larry Miller, for the tiny bit he's in, I feel for him because he's his brother, and you can tell that they kind of his character does look up to Sam Elliott as well. Aidan Turner plays a young Sam Elliott. Ron Livingston's in it as well, but he's only in it for like 5 minutes. His name is American Flag. And then the other guy is Canadian Flag, So, their names aren't very, very in depth in this film. But it's well worth the watch. It's on Hulu right now, streaming if you have Hulu. Very well worth the watch. I give this a solid 4. I'm a big Sam Elliott fan, and I'm always going to be a Sam Elliott fan. And if you're not, go and pick up some good movies from him.
Did you like Hero?
Yes, loved that movie.
Because that's on Hulu, and I'm meaning to maybe watch it.
It is a must watch. It's one of those movies that my mom watches movies with me. Sometimes I take her to watch these things because she loves Sam Elliott as well. And she for the Hero film, she was like watching it, and she was like, "How is this? How it ends?" It's one of those movies that doesn't really have a...
It just ends.
It just ends. Mm-hmm. It does a solid ending, but you know what? You don't really
I just watched The Phenom with Ethan Hawke as a bad baseball coach father, and yeah, that movie straight up just ends, yeah.
Yeah, and so she was kind of upset with it, but I told her, I said, look, you know what? I'm going to go with the idea that it happened, whatever happens at the end is okay. It's okay. Life moves on. You know what I'm saying? Life is what it goes. Life moves on.
And life is shitty. Why can't the film be shitty too?
Absolutely. So we had something this week. We decided we're not going to do that. So now we're going to just jump to what?
No, news.
Oh, news and notes. Is that what we...
Sure, if you want to get specific.
Oh, hold on. Notes and notable stuff. I forgot the notable stuff.
Oh, hey now.
Yeah, there's Sam as we're
watching. We got Sam Elliott playing in the background. Oh, and side note, I just put in a bid on eBay to win Batman vs. Teenage Ninja Turtles on 4K.
Well, jeez. That'll be good.
I'm not going to win. I lowballed it.
You lowballed?
But sometimes you never know. Sometimes you win, like, randomly.
$2 is going to get you a film.
I think I put in like 10, 12 for the 4K.
Well, that's good enough.
No. Someone will outbid me.
If you pay over the asking price, you're going to have an issue. So, what do you want to do here?
Let's go with start off with something of yours. You got the first one here. Going to start off a little bit on a somber note.
Well, we got 2 somber notes at one time, and we can talk about both at the same time because we don't want to.
I'll put it.
Yeah, we're going to put both of these unfortunate, timely deaths.
So some Hollywood heroes, unfortunately passed.
Yeah, Cameron Boyce, who's a star of Disney's Descendants, also a few other Disney Channel favorites.
Someone said Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse. Yes, he died at 20 in his sleep. They've already done the autopsy. They haven't figured out what happened yet, but his family did say that he wasn't feeling well just recently, and he has, as you said, seizures in the past. That is a life lost too soon for him. And I did like his characters that he did play. I could see that he had a future. He was in Grown Ups 1 and 2. Even though it wasn't the greatest films ever, he played Adam Sandler's son. In that, and Adam Sandler actually put out a touching, thing to him. The other person we lost, we lost him today or yesterday, July 9th. Rip Torn died at 88. That guy right there had a full body of work. I believe he had, I don't know what it was, Alzheimer's or cancer. I can't remember which one it was. But the man put in a full life. Lots of great movies. You could know him as what was his name in the MIB films? Zed. So he was so he was in charge of the MIB. Also, you might know him from the Larry Sanders Show, trying to keep Larry, pacified and stroke his ego a lot. And my favorite quote from Rip Torn is from Dodgeball, where they're all in the casino, and he goes, "Is it wrong that I like to drink my own urine? No, it's sterile and I love the taste." Though that is just my favorite quote of that movie from him, Rip Torn. Again, taken too soon. 88, along with Cameron Boyce, who's passed at the age of 20, respectively.
Yeah, actually, no, you're just saying it. I didn't think I had any kind of connection to Cameron Boyce. I hadn't seen any of those Disney shows. Definitely sad, especially when it's something what sounds like completely out of his control. Yeah, I didn't know he said till grown-ups. Yeah, I definitely remember him now. Obviously, as one of the young kids. Good, charming in those movies. So yeah, very sad there. Rip Torn, like you said, from the first two Men in Black. So been part of my childhood. Basically since I was 8 and whatnot. And yeah, as you said, Dodgeball, very funny in a small role in that. And yeah, just 88 though, nothing. I think nothing to scoff at. But we've been sad that we haven't seen him since 2011 in a film.
Well, I think he had, like I said, I think he had dementia or something close to that. Because I know he had his demons. Rip Torn had his demons, alcoholism, and things like that. And sometimes he took his career, his method too far. In some of his movies, I was listening to somebody today talking about how he was supposed to bludgeon someone with a hammer, and he actually tried to do it in a movie. Actually tried to bludgeon his co-star with the hammer, and they had to pull them off because the other co-star, I can't remember who it was, but they bit him in the ear, bit his ear, blood just streaming from both of them, and the kids in the background are all panicking, and they're saying, get him off, and don't fight anymore. And he's like, don't worry, kids, it's Hollywood, we're acting. That's how he was. Rip Torn, you could be...
That was a decent Rip Torn impression.
That's the best I can do. But what else you got for me, boss? Are we going down my list, or are we going to go down your list? My list?
Do some of yours. I know you were talking a trailer. I got some trailers for you as well.
Yeah, mine is the action teaser for Mulan. Disney's live action Mulan dropped over the weekend. I keep telling you, I don't want to watch any, live Disney films. This one actually kind of piqued my interest, maybe because it doesn't have a lot of the cartoonish type flair like the other ones have.
No Eddie Murphy's Mushu?
No, I don't believe the dragon's going to be in this.
No, it's been said he's not, I think.
So I think it's going to work for me, I think, because they're taking a more serious tone. And
I was going to say, I was actually going to kind of predict where you were going. I think of all the trailers or of all the Disney movies, this seems to be the one that's going, okay, we're kind of doing something different with the IP.
Yeah.
We're not doing literally what so far looks like shot-for-shot Lion King.
And I think it's going to be great. It has a great little cast so far that we've seen, and the story is just going to be good. I just have a feeling, and I might actually join you into a theater to watch a live action Disney. The last live action Disney I did go watch was the Beauty and the Beast. That was the last live action Disney that I actually stepped in.
You saw that without me.
Yeah, and I stepped in the theater to watch that one.
That's funny.
So,
other trailers that came out that I thought were noteworthy was the Knives Out trailer. It came out recently. That is Ryan Johnson, who made one of my favorite indie films, Brick, and then more recently Brothers Bloom, Looper, and of course he did the last Star Wars movie, the last of the trilogy. This one looks pretty cool. It's basically, It looks like it's kind of like, Murder on the Orient Express or a way better murder mystery from Adam Sandler.
Murder mystery. Has a little bit of murder mystery, a little bit of Murder on the Orient, and Clue.
There you go. And he's got a tremendous cast assigned here. You have Chris Evans, of course, as Captain America. Jamie Lee Curtis I saw in this. Why am I blanking? There's so many that popped up.
I'm going to pull that up as you... But yeah, I think that movie will be actually pretty good. I'm excited just because I didn't even know who was doing it until they told you, writer and director. I
just heard recently about this too. Someone was saying like this is a fun film that will be talked about pretty soon. And now that the trailer's out, more people are definitely starting to come on board and talk about the movie Knives Out. Like I said, I'm a really big fan of this director. I like when he does his own IP. Brick was one of the first times that I saw a movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I said, "Oh, this is JGL kid, the kid from Third Rock, is going to be a star."
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He can find, he can make actors do things that they're not used to acting.
Yeah, he made Bruce Willis give a shit for once.
Yeah, and that's a scary thing that you can do that with Bruce Willis, make him care. Daniel Craig is in it. Anna de Armas is in it. Lakeith Stanfield. Who else? Michael Shannon. And Christopher Plummer. How could we forget Christopher Plummer? Don Johnson is in this, and Frank Oz. I don't know what Frank Oz.
Who's Frank Oz playing?
Frank Oz. It doesn't tell me. He's just
Yoda in it.
He could be. He could be. Who knows what he's doing? But yeah, Frank Oz is also in the cast. So, like I said, man, it's going to be an amazing deal, man. It's just going to be great because it's just a lot of family squabbling and a detective trying to figure it all out. You know,
We gotta talk about this next one, man. I think you're with me in liking the first one, or the second one. I guess technically that's Jumanji. Next Level trailer is out. You got all your favorites from the first one are returning. The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart. Even it looks like Nick Jonas is back. What's his name? Funny guy from Flight of the Conchords is back. Not the main two, the third guy. And then added to the cast this time is Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. I kind of predicted this. I basically figured, like, okay, it's going to be like the first.
you have Karen Gillan.
With different people. Karen Gillan, too, of course. My bad. Kind of like the first one. But them just in different bodies. And that's what you see early on. Is it looks like, what is it, Alex Wolff or Nat Wolff goes back into the game. And so
we don't know where he's at.
They all chase him. I'm thinking he might be the new Nick Jonas character, is the kid that kind of runs away.
Yeah.
And they chase him in, and then as they come apart, they realize that everyone's in different bodies, including old and cranky Danny DeVito, who is The Rock, right?
Yes, he plays The Rock.
The Rock is playing Danny DeVito, and then Kevin Hart's Danny Glover.
Yeah, and Jack Black is now the young black guy. I can't remember his name.
I'm the old fat dude. Or whatever.
Yeah. You know, so he's like, we didn't even get to choose our characters, and don't forget Colin Hanks is going to be in this one as well, along with Awkwafina. This is Awkwafina. She was just signed probably a few months ago before they even stopped filming this. So we don't know where she's going to be at in this film. But no, I'm excited to see this. Comes out during Christmas, I believe, right? Or am I wrong with that?
It makes sense. I believe that's when the first one came out, or the second one. How do you say it? First or second?
The first. I call it the first of the reboots. The reboots.
Oh, that's even more confusing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it says December 13th is their plan. Their hard plan to get it out there.
Want to talk about some smoking?
Yeah, Netflix is basically have already put out an edict for any shows that are now TV-14 shows. They're going to go to a no smoking policy, or only have it if it's relevant to the period or the story or the character of the story. So we're going to see a little less smoking. I think the reason why people are complaining, a lot of PC people are complaining that Hopper smokes too much in Stranger Things. And they did a study. Yeah, he does smoke a lot. But again, this was the 80s. Wow. People didn't know how bad it was for you, even though they knew it was bad for you. But you know what I'm saying? They still did it.
Yeah, I mean, this says right here, it's to pertain to the story. Like, yeah, I believe that character probably would.
Yeah.
Anything literally before, 2005?
yeah, anything before then, even 2000, even 1995 or so, you could
I think anything in the 90s.
Yeah, no, it was, I think they kind of tapered some off in the 90s. It's not as bad as the 70s movies, you know what I'm saying? Where they were smoking every 5 seconds. It's not like Mad Men as well. If you watch Mad Men, they smoke every 5 seconds. There's nobody without a lucky strike in their hands. Also, I have a quiz for you. I got a question. What does Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds all have in common right now?
They're all invited to my birthday party, but none of them will show?
Okay, besides that.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you. They are all in the newly greenlit film from Netflix, thanks to Universal Studios backing out, called Red Notice. It's also a handsome payday for them. Ryan Reynolds, big paycheck, $20 million supposedly. Gal Gadot says they say that she has a smaller part than Ryan Reynolds, but she's going to get $20 million. And Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, they're looking at 25 plus million because not only is he going to help produce it, he's also going to be, of course, acting in it. And they're all projecting that this movie can cost over $200 million. But most of the insiders are saying, no, that's too high. We're looking at probably about $160 million.
Yeah, so much better.
But I'm like, well, I could see if Netflix wanted to, they could put this one out in the theaters and make a shitload of money because these are names that will draw. Now, unless you're not very, if you're Netflix, you don't want to put it out there for the 3 days like they usually do for other shows. But I think this one could actually launch them into a real money-making scheme in which they could put it out for a couple months and then put it on their streamer. But I think the way they're going to do it is put it on their streaming service. That's what it sounds like right away.
We'll see. That definitely has been the rumor of what you're saying, of them doing maybe have a theatrical run, you know what I mean? Make millions more off that. And obviously having first dibs rights.
Well, absolutely, and they'll have it. And Paramount lost the bid. Disney actually made a bid for this film, and a whole bunch of other people made a bid. So they've already whatever that bid was to buy this film, they didn't even talk about that money. So God knows, what they'll think about doing with it. I think they should put it in the theater, try to milk as much money as possible, and then put it on your streaming service a couple months later. Try to do what you can. Try to make some money on it.
So, Jim, I know you're angry about this. Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry, Halle Bailey has been cast as Ariel in The Little Mermaid. Tell us why you're so angry.
How dare you? I'm not angry. I find it fascinating that people are so clingy to what their visions are. Not everything is, you're allowed to go outside the box when you're thinking of a movie. It's a movie. It's not a cartoon. And what happens, they could have made Ariel black if they wanted to, Disney back in the day. I think she's a great singer. Have you heard her sing? She's fantastic.
No, I don't know about the girl. All I know is you're crazy if this bothers you, I think.
Yeah.
Things change. I hopefully they simply casted her because she probably killed it in an audition, or they saw that she was a good singer.
She's fabulous.
So
yeah, you should get. When this came out, I got interested in her. I was like, who is she? Where is she coming from? And I just dumped in.
Someone made a good point too. I thought I'm trying to think of how to word it. If you want to get mad at it being changed, well, the original story, she gets her tongue cut out, I believe.
Yes.
So, you can't really get mad when they try to change it.
And at the end, she turns into a sea foam, like a statue at the end, the old Hans Christian Andersen. She doesn't even live, okay? So let's just say thank you, Disney, for making her live and have a happy life.
Yeah, it's already been changed, guys, so yeah. Just, it's not. It reminds me almost just like when they went girls with Ghostbusters and people were mad. I'm like, what's your problem? Yeah. The movie wasn't that great, but that's mostly because of the girls. It was just, the
bad
script and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, still, I remember going, Melissa McCarthy, check. Leslie Jones, check. What's the problem? So this girl is good.
Chris Hemsworth in it, too.
Fantastic, No, so that's what I'm saying.
So you got a lot of good actors. McKinnon is still not my favorite, so it's...
But on paper, I don't think you were against her from the get-go.
No, I wasn't. I thought, well, maybe she could sneak in and play and do well. Just turned out the script was just
now,
terrible.
I know you're excited for this. You haven't shut up about it since you heard it. White Chicks 2 is coming.
No.
According to Terry Crews, who was that's one of his breakout roles, actually.
Yes.
Was also on Brooklyn Nine-Nine and many other things, hundreds of things. He says they're coming. The Wayans brothers have told him it's happening. So we might have White Chicks 2 Even Whiter, which is not an official title, but I would bet money that it's a possibility.
And that's the way it should be.
Even whiter.
Even whiter, because, why not? But no, I have no qualms. I still say we're kind of tired of sequel fatigue. We're tired. I think Hollywood is just doing a lot of retreads. And I don't know if we can sustain this. I don't know how many times. I know people still go to the movies and watch these things, but because I'm going to watch Bill and Ted 3 when it comes out. You are too. We're not tired of them. But
I didn't have that in my notes, but there's some good extra castings that they're adding some good people to that movie.
Yeah, and I'm just I'm ecstatic, because it is pining away at my childhood when I watched it. But I'm like, I don't know if. Is there any real original ideas in Hollywood? It's like Giant Little Ones, okay, the one that I reviewed earlier today. That one didn't get a full release, of course, because they don't know how that's going to go. But at the same time, you're looking at those type of films used to be put out in the theater a little bit, with those type of themes, just to see if they would do well. But now it's just a bunch of cookie-cutter films that are, you're guaranteed to make money.
You don't see as many kind of small budgeted R-rated movies. So they're all trying to get these huge paydays.
Yeah, it's like the cookie cutters are out and they can't help but keep pressing them. And you and I like to see individual sculptures of films. Basically, we'll say.
Well, we talked about our love of Ghostbusters and Kate McKinnon. Are you excited for Paul Rudd being added to the new Ghostbusters?
Paul Rudd, yes, and also the kid from Stranger Things has also been added.
Millie Bobby Brown?
No, the other one, the boy.
Jackson Rathbone?
No, the one
I made
from
that name up.
the one from
the
the It films.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can't remember. Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard.
Which
Yeah,
that can't be his real name.
That's his name.
Like his last name's really Wolfhard.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know.
But this is great. Paul Rudd always a great welcome addition, whether it's leading or like a cameo or a co-star. So I'm all for it.
I can't wait for that. I know it comes out next year supposedly 2020.
Inspector Gadget is not what we're talking about. Ghostbusters.
No. Ghostbusters. You know.
Yeah.
And it comes close. There's the little subtle note changes. You can get Inspector Gadget from it. But yeah, I when you see adding of people to a film that already seems like it already has the original cast. And, I'm okay with it. Maybe he could be, who knows? I don't know. But I'm waiting to see. I'm excited. I like Paul Rudd, so we've already discussed that one time. But maybe that'll be a next one of our segments one time, the best Paul Rudd films. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm down to do it. I like me some Paulus Rudd.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you need to cancel your Netflix account. You know why?
Why?
Because The Office is leaving for the NBC streaming service.
No, that's not going to happen for another couple years.
Year and a half, 2021.
But why do I need to do this, though? Because
you're not like me. You finish The Office and you go, let's watch The Office again.
I never do that. Friends is leaving this year, too. What do you want me to do? Cancel my stuff?
Friends is sexist. No.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just watching Aziz Ansari.
You and your soft millennials.
Aziz Ansari has a new special up, and I thought he made a good bit about it. Even The Office, like nowadays, you'd watch and go like, this chick's engaged, and he's hitting on her for like 4 years. Like nowadays, this thing would end with him getting sexual harassment, and then you find out the whole documentary is just gathering evidence against Jim. That's the real series finale.
That is,
So despite the fact that she was engaged, sir, you would constantly prank with her and invited her to the rooftop for pizza.
And then you still...
She was your co-worker.
Yes. But no, what was the crossover that just recently... what's his name? Michael. Who played Michael? Help me out.
Steve Carell.
Thank you. Couldn't come up with it off the top of my head. Drink. But yeah, Steve Carell just recently came out and said something about a crossover event that he might actually be a part of. But with The Office. I'm not sure what I didn't know if you heard anything about that.
Not at all. See if you Google that because you're confusing me and intriguing me all at once.
I am going to pull it up right now as we speak.
While you do that, let me talk about David Kelly set to write and executive produce Lincoln Lawyer series for CBS. Did you like that Matthew McConaughey film from 2000 and whatever?
It was...
I disagree. I liked it. It's a pretty tight legal drama and some good stuff in it. Great cast as well. When you look at it, there's like 12 terrific names in it. Michael Pena, Bryan Cranston, I think. And no, actually, I liked it. I could see that being a series. I could also see it being very cookie cutter and being canceled if Rob Lowe gets cast. But still.
Well, actually, here it is right here. He says it could possibly happen. I think I brought it up one time on the show, and we just glossed over it. But Always Sunny in Philadelphia and The Office crossover. And he said he might be in on it. If they want to do it, he's in.
Okay. I was just rewatching. I was a little upset by It's Always Sunny. They do the whole season 12 thing where like Glenn Howerton might leave Dennis's character, and then he comes back literally at the premiere of season 13, and they never explain it. He just pops up, and they even address it like the 5th episode. He's like, "All right, guys, ask me all the questions you want," and the other cast members just go, "Nah, we're good." They never really explain like the whole season 12 ending where like it looks like he's leaving for good, which was probably like real life because he was doing that AP Bio show.
Yeah. But yeah, I just find it fascinating. So yeah, I just thought that was a good little thing to throw out there for you. Anything else we got for us, boss?
Yes, I just bought the last one on Blu-ray for $1.
The last one. What is that?
I'll explain if you don't interrupt again.
Hey, a good interviewer does a follow-up question.
RoboCop Returns is in the works, being worked on by District 9 and Chappie's Neil Blomkamp.
Awful.
And it looks like they're gonna maybe pull a like a Halloween and a Terminator, where, you know, again, don't look at that last one. Probably don't even look at number 3. Maybe not even look at number 2. I don't know where they're going with it.
Don't even look at number 1. Okay, pretend it never happened.
No, because what it is, and the other thing recently in the news is that they're going to legitimately use the exact same outfit from the first one.
What,
like,
RoboCop?
Yeah.
So
like
Peter Weller's coming back?
There's rumors that
Old man Peter Weller coming back as RoboCop?
All you gotta do is have a dude, like, he doesn't move fast. Like, RoboCop's not about the fight scenes, really, so...
Yeah, and he can still say, drop it, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know, there's rumors. I mean, I hope, you know... there's some hopes. Like, I didn't hate that last one. Like, it has its moments, and they did a couple interesting things, and then it just kind of falls off the rails. And but hey, man, it was $1 on Blu-ray at the Dollar Tree, so...
Yeah. Oh, also, the little note, Dave Bautista's movie, My Spy, which was to come out in August, mid-August, has been now pushed back to 2020 at STX Entertainment. They said that they're confident in the film, but they just want to put it into an area where it won't get lost in the shuffle between other films. I'm not sure what's coming out that's going to get lost. You know, all the big names are dropping out now. But, they're pushing it to a January perspective. And we all know what happens in January, nothing. So this might actually be beneficial to this film, or it might scare you a little bit.
I mean, it does scare me simply, like, the fact that they don't have enough praise to go, yeah, not only does it come out in August, we don't care what else comes out.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're scared. It seems like a little trepidatious anyway. Hey, it's a kid from Boyhood. He's in this too, right? Is that the kid from Boyhood?
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
You're missing the scene.
I'm sorry, we're watching The Man Who Killed Bigfoot. But let's see what else. Oh, let's do some box office here for you. From July 5th to the 7th weekend, number 5, Aladdin, in its 7th week made another $7 million, bringing this one all the way to $320 million.
So who's that now?
Aladdin.
Aladdin, my God.
Annabelle comes home to the 4th position in its 2nd week, making $9 million, bringing that one to $49 million. Number 3, Yesterday, All My Troubles, in its 2nd week, brought in $10 million. That's all I can sing before we get copyrighted.
Yeah.
Bringing that total to $36 million. It's not doing too shabby. Number 2, Toy Story 4 and Forky, in its 3rd week, made another $33 million, bringing that to $306 million. And number 1, a little small indie named Spider-Man Far From Home, in its debut week, made $92 million.
Did you hear about Spider-Man? Did you hear about the new rules that happens with Spider-Man?
No web shooters. What?
No. MCU. You know how the Marvel, is helping Sony. The only way Sony can get out of this deal, okay, and this is what I read just recently, and I read it in 2 different sources, so I didn't do the third vet. I'm not a very serious journalist, I'm guessing. But if they get less than $1 billion on this run, Sony has it lock, stock, and free. They don't have to worry about Marvel bothering with them again. Okay? But if this film makes $1 billion, which, mind you, worldwide it's made $600 million, so you're close to the prize. If you can make $400 million soon, you can. Marvel is in on the 3rd film, guaranteed. So it might be they're not going to go away after this film. So that was the rumor. They were supposed to be done. They have one. I think Tom Holland's under one more contract, which is this next. He was under for 3 Spider-Man films and 3 different appearances in other MCU films, and he's already contractually obligations. They're done with those. So now he has just the 1 film to worry about. And so I
be 4. He's been in 3.
No, he's 2. He has a 3 picture for the other. And he only had 3 for the other as well.
He's been in 3.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's done.
He's done then, yeah.
He's done with the crossover stuff right now.
Wow.
Let me tell you this. New news that just popped in. See, this is what's great about doing some freeform for news.
Live news, baby.
The creator, John Wick creator, Derek Kolstad, he is now on board the limited series. This makes me now want to go over the top to Disney, because he is now a writer. He's on the writing team of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. So, as you know, I'm a big John Wick fan. So if he could bring any of that fun over to those 2 guys, it would be an unbelievable series if Disney will just let it happen.
That'd be a good thing to talk about real quick, man. I mean, you mentioned Disney, still talking about their service. I think they're being smart by supposedly when they're starting, it's gonna be cheap, like cheaper than Netflix, cheaper than Hulu.
Yeah.
You hear about this HBO Max though?
I just read a little bit. I didn't really delve into it, but what is HBO Max?
I guess they're gonna do another streaming service. Kind of like right now you have HBO Go or Now or whatever.
Yeah.
But like they're gonna have other people. Like supposedly they're gonna have TNT there, and they're also gonna have, which is weird.
So it's their Time Warner group.
Oh, okay. I guess is that what it is then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But supposedly it's not going to be cheap. Supposedly it's going to be like maybe $18-$20, something like that.
Well, if you get
if there's enough, again, if there's enough bang for your buck. For instance, I know not a lot of people talk about this, but if this could be another way to watch AEW wrestling,
yeah,
if that's part of it,
if TNT is a part of it, it'd be
that might be kind of cool.
And then you could just take away some of the other stuff. You watch USA Network, you watch Fox, and you don't really need all of that. At one time, but again, over the top stuff is going to still cost you more than a regular cable bill at the end of the day, and that's
the problem, man.
I'm looking at my stuff that's over the top right now. I'm kind of decreasing what I do, and I'm trying to figure, okay, I might do CBS All Access because I do want to watch the Twilight Zone stuff, but at the same time, give me more. Give me more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Before I commit. I made the unfortunate event, even though I've been enjoying the hell out of it, the DC Network. I'm a big DC fan. But their shows aren't being put out like they should or they promised. And I'm kind of now worried. They're saying that it shouldn't, this new one that you just brought up, HBO Max, because that also includes the Time Warner.
Yeah, some DC stuff.
AT&T stuff.
They're supposed to have dibs on the movies, which is weird.
Yeah, and
you have a DC app.
Yeah, you have a DC app. Let everyone have the app, so you can have two, okay? Because sometimes people don't want to watch some other crap, And I jumped on board. The shows are great. They're all in 4K stream. They're everything is crisp, and I am so happy with it. But at the same time, I'm kind of disappointed that I'm looking over here and they've only made 10 episodes of the Swamp Thing, and they don't want it back yet. It's fantastic. Then you got Doom Patrol, and you got all these Titans, and they have Supergirl. Not Supergirl, but Stargirl coming out, and you have a whole bunch of other things. They keep promising me, but they don't keep producing. That's the thing. They're not filming as much as I think they should be filming to make it a sustaining thing.
And then as for like me on my level, DC is a perfect example of. If there wasn't so many options, maybe I'd be interested. But there's just not enough time in the day for me and enough interest for me to get into DC. There's nothing that makes me go, I need that.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I would delve into the Disney over the top. I might. If they keep.
Why do you keep saying over the top? Is that the name of it?
No. It's just an over the top service, and that's what they call all these things, because you're not going to have to subscribe to Comcast or anything like that. It's just an over-the-top streaming service, and so I always call it over-the-top. I can't.
Okay, I didn't know. You can't confuse me.
But yeah, so it's called Disney Plus.
Are they all going to try to get that Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie?
Yeah, I think little did Stallone know that movie is going to be the best movie ever. But
Are you saying it's not?
It's not. Oh, but we're going to have to go to Japan, by the way. I know this is a side.
We're not going to Japan. Why are we going to Japan?
Universal Studios is just, they leaked out a plan. They're going to make a Nintendo World. Nintendo World. We could go down this little sewage drain like Mario.
Yeah, and then get stuck like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. I know, but it'd be so much fun whenever somebody comes behind us and it puts antlers behind, as we're stuck in the hole, and they try to make a face on her ass like Rabbit did.
That doesn't sound like fun at all. That sounds horrifying.
Oh, brother, it's a joyful event for everyone, having sticks in their ass.
Real quick, for those of you looking to hit the cinema this weekend, I got 4 choices for you.
Oh, yeah, give 'em.
Dutch might have a couple weird-ass ones. Sword of Trust is coming out in limited run. This one's looks like a small indie comedy with Mark Maron and Jillian Bell from Workaholics and 22 Jump Street. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. You got Art of Self-Defense, the new Jesse Eisenberg film. And then, of course, you got Crawl.
Don't run.
Is it killer crocs or alligators? I always get confused.
Okay,
Crocs, right?
We live in Florida. Okay.
Yeah,
how many houses have a basement?
Yeah, that's true. We don't have basements. No houses do, right?
No house has a basement like this film.
This doesn't take place in Florida, does it?
Yeah, it does.
It can.
It takes place in Florida.
Georgia?
No, they say it takes place in Florida. It's a small town in Florida.
And, no one has basements, right?
No one has a basement. We'd hit water as soon as we started drilling in. So
Okay,
it's
so-
way somebody who's never been to a hurricane. I know Sam Raimi has done this, but you know,
Well, he produced it, right?
I think he had a hand in most of it.
I don't know.
I don't know. We gotta go. Over
And of
that.
course, I know the movie me and you will review next time you are hearing
Absolutely.
these voices is Stuber. Kumail Nanjiani picks up Dave Bautista. They go on a ride of a lifetime.
which
Hijinks ensue.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I hope it's not. I'm not overdeveloping in my brain, but I just want to. I'm gonna hope I'm gonna laugh a lot because I need.
No, I think so. This seems like a fun pairing. The trailers have been pretty top notch, and like, yeah, I'm intrigued pretty hardcore here.
Yeah, and don't forget, there's a few other movies we may review. Ladies in Black, and also Hotel Mumbai is out there to stream. So I'm gonna go look at them. Join me if you wish. Also, next week is our 20th episode anniversary. I like to call it 20th anniversary, but it's not. It's our 20th episode anniversary, and we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna pull a date for Deja Vu.
Deja vu.
Yes, it's less dirty when there's more than one person saying it.
In honor of Dizzle. Heck yeah.
Absolutely. So, also, we're going to go over the top 5 movies in our registers that would be better be made as a remake now. Let's remake a movie.
Godfather.
It could be better. You know, I didn't like the original Godfather. I'm on the record for saying that. So maybe we can do something. Maybe we can do something great. So.
And Sam Elliott just killed Hitler.
Hey, how dare you? How dare you ruin that film?
It's in the title.
Oh, it is. Oh, yes. But yeah, so we're gonna go over that. We're gonna have a good show. We got some special surprises. I hope. You never
Could it
know.
be Tom Cruise? Could it
could
be
be-
Dave Bautista?
Or it could be the cat next door. We don't know. So
Nah, we're not that big.
no, we're not.
That cat is busy.
Remember Grumpy Cat? He signed to come to the show and then he died. I don't know what happened there, but we just we're not that good enough for Grumpy Cat. He'd rather die than be on our show.
I heard he's grumpy.
I tried to
Zing.
get. Yeah, you should have dealt with his press agent. Anyway, anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Just that I love each and every one of you who have listened. Of course, hit the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the Pierce Code channel, check out all of Dutch McAllister's stand-up specials.
Yeah, I do have some specials that are still in the closet. I haven't brought them out yet, but I have plays. I have plays on tape I could put out there for somebody.
I'll put it on the Pierce Code channel.
Yeah, you can
And give me
always-
that footage.
That roll that fabulous.
We should do that. I'll
footage.
upload some of my plays. Let's upload some of yours.
We'll see what happens. But anyway, from the basement.
Oh God, there's a croc in here.
Oh my God! You better run. Don't crawl.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, hey now.
Hey.
I like that movie. If you're Barry Pepper, I'm leaving you.
Yeah, I'm not Barry Pepper. Yeah, if I was Barry Pepper, I would have never gone to the basement because I wouldn't have one. Okay.
I've always wanted to do a YouTube series about like how short movies could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, we gotta leave. Like, just leave me behind. Okay. Minutes. 7 minutes.
It's like Don't Breathe. We've talked about that over and over. Don't Breathe. We would have been done at the fence. Okay, we would have been driving and be like, yeah, what there's
fence I
climbing,
gotta hop?
and then wait a minute, there's a fence I gotta hop, and then there's a 3x5 window I gotta squeeze my ass. No, we're done. We're done. Have a great
Movie
evening.
like 14 and a half minutes.
Yeah, that's how that movie would have gone for both of us. But anyway, I thank you guys for listening. Do what you want because I'm not your parents.
We won't tell you what to do.
Yeah, but
Drive recklessly. Just don't sue the show.
just let's do what you want to do. Just don't Snapchat and drive. So anyway, thank you. I think we're done.
And we love you more than you'll ever know.
What? You already told him you loved him. Don't give him so much fucking high hopes. Don't do it.